Well, we have continuing coverage of a new strain of COVID-19 that one mother says is leaving her son struggling to survive in Odessa. It's commonly known as the Brazilian variant. The CDC says this variant emerged in the U.S. at the end of January in 4 travelers from Brazil. Today, we're learning more about this strain. News West 9's Rachel Ripp talked to a doctor on the front lines in the COVID ward. Rachel, it sounds scary. Should we be worried about it?
Crystal, the intensive care doctor I spoke with today says yes, we should be concerned about this new Brazilian strain of COVID-19 and any other strain of COVID-19 for that matter, but that we have wide vaccine access here in West Texas to fight against it. A new COVID strain could be in our midst.
We all know that these strains are going to be spreading out because of the rapidly spread of this kind of mutation, and so we are expecting to see cases of the newer strains. We've already had confirmed cases in the United States, so it's not a surprise that we're going to start seeing cases in different states.
MCH doesn't have any confirmed cases of COVID variants yet, but one family of a patient here says he has the strain. MCH tells us test results are still being processed to officially confirm the Brazilian strain. As for this variant itself, Dr. Garcia Fernandez says it's more contagious and can change its protein makeup, which is the same protein that's used in the base of vaccines like Pfizer and Moderna.
We are expecting the virus to be smart and try to modify itself so it can, fight the vaccines, but the reality is it hasn't achieved that point yet. The other good thing, and that's important that the community knows, is the mRNA vaccines we're using now, we have the capability of modifying them pretty quickly to adjust to new mutations of the virus.
As far as treatment in the hospital dealing with these strains, Dr. Garcia Fernandez says it's going to be the same. She also says you don't have to travel to catch the new Brazilian strain. It has the ability to mutate inside people with COVID in the same geographic area, and doesn't necessarily have to come from travel. But in the case of the patient here at MCH, the trigger that made staff aware it could be this strain was the patient's travel history.
West Texas is in a privileged position right now. Texas in general, but West Texas in particular, because the reality is we got secure a large amount of vaccines. The rollout of vaccines in West Texas was truly impressive compared to rest of Texas and other states. And so I think the more people are protected with immunity from the vaccine, plus the people that got sick and got immunity from getting sick, it's going to be a huge advantage for us as a community in seeing less and less cases of resistant variants.
Crystal, the doctor I spoke with today says the best preventative methods for this strain are, well, you guessed it. Get your vaccine, wash your hands, socially distance yourself, and wear your mask. Now, MCH says they don't have a timeline as of yet when they'll know for sure whether or not this patient has the Brazilian variant or not. But we will keep you up to date with all that information and continue to follow this story. Now, I also reached out to Midland Memorial Hospital, and they tell me they do not have any confirmed cases of the Brazilian variant. Reporting in Odessa, I'm Rachel Ripp.